The alien fleet moved in with confidence. Ships larger than mountains floated through space, shining with advanced weapons and thick armor. They had crushed enemies before. Dozens of species had fallen to their power. Now they faced a small, human outpost near the edge of explored space. The aliens didn't expect trouble. Their scouts reported that only a handful of humans were stationed there. Easy victory, they thought. A training mission. Nothing more. Commander Traval of the Tharn Empire stood proudly on his command deck, watching the battle unfold on the screens. Explosions lit up the darkness as the first wave hit the human base. But something was wrong. The human defenses didn't fall. Instead, they fought back, with precision, with speed, and with unexpected fury. The aliens lost 6 dropships in the first few minutes. Traval frowned. "What kind of base is this?" he muttered. On the planet below, a small human team was moving like ghosts through smoke and fire. They wore black armor without any symbols. Their weapons were advanced, but not flashy. Every shot they fired hit its target. Every trap they set claimed alien lives. They were outnumbered at least 100 to 1, but they didn't back down. They didn't panic. They fought as if they had trained for this exact moment. Sergeant Kara Hale led the human team. Her voice stayed calm as she gave orders. Sector 3, cover the East Ridge. Reinforcements landing in 30 seconds. She moved fast, setting charges on a rocky path where alien tanks were approaching. The explosion threw metal and fire into the sky. Her team vanished again, leaving no trace but bodies and scorched ground. Up in orbit, Traval's officers were starting to worry. "Sir, we expected light resistance. We're losing entire squads," Traval growled. "Send in the second wave and tell them to crush everything." More ships dropped from the sky, filled with soldiers and drones. The battle turned more brutal. Trees burned. The ground cracked. But the humans kept fighting, disappearing and striking like ghosts in the night. The aliens started calling the defenders phantoms. Fear began to spread. Their enemy was small but deadly. Traps, ambushes, sabotage, none of it felt like a standard military defense. It felt surgical, personal. Some alien soldiers whispered that this wasn't a normal base, that maybe, just maybe, these weren't regular soldiers. After 4 hours, the aliens finally pushed through to the heart of the human camp. But instead of a base, they found only wreckage, scorched earth, and a few bodies. There were no command tents, no large supply, stores, no heavy weapons, just signs of clever engineering and intense resistance. Traval landed with his elite guards to inspect the site. "Where are the rest?" he demanded. His science officer handed him a small data chip found in a broken comms station. Traval inserted the chip into his reader. One message appeared. Simple, short, cold. Scout Team Echo. Do not engage further. Reinforcements classified. The alien commander froze. The words echoed in his mind. Scout Team. These weren't Earth's main forces. These weren't even regular soldiers. This was just a scout team, a recon unit, sent to observe, not fight, and yet they had nearly held off an entire alien fleet. Panic rippled through the officers. Traval clenched his fists. If this was how humans fought with only a scout team, what would happen if their full army arrived? How advanced was their real power? Why were they holding back? Above them, the sky rumbled. Clouds from the smoke of battle rolled through the atmosphere. No human ships had arrived to help, no reinforcements. That made it worse. The silence from Earth wasn't weakness. It was a message, a warning. Far away, hiding in a ravine, one wounded human soldier pressed a button on his wrist. A red light blinked. A signal went out, silent and invisible to alien eyes. The real war hadn't started yet. And now, the galaxy would find out what it meant to challenge humanity. The Tharn Empire had won the ground. But they lost something far greater, the illusion of safety, because Earth was watching and Earth remembered. The battle was over. At least that's what the aliens believed. Black smoke covered the ruins of the human outpost. Alien troops walked through the destruction, scanning for survivors. They found none, just empty crates, shattered gear, and a single human body, burned, beyond recognition. But deep underground, Echo Team wasn't finished yet. Flashback. Hours before the final assault, Sergeant Kara Hale stared at the holographic map. The odds were worse than ever, over 500 enemy troops closing in. Her team? Just 6 people. Tired, wounded, low on ammo. "We're not here to win," she said calmly. "We're here to buy time." They all knew it. This wasn't a rescue mission. It wasn't even a defense. It was a delay, to confuse the enemy, to make them believe this outpost mattered, that Earth cared about this rock. But Earth didn't. Not really, because Echo Team wasn't protecting the outpost. They were protecting something else. Reveal: the secret payload in the center of the base, hidden. Beneath rocks and heat shields was a black cube. It looked simple, silent. But inside it held something powerful. A data core full of human military codes and fleet movements. If the aliens got their hands on it, Earth would be exposed. That's why Echo Team stayed. To keep the cube out of enemy hands, at any cost. The final plan: Kara divided her team. 2 would lead the enemy away with traps and noise. 2 would guard the cube until it was hidden deep in the caves, impossible to trace. And 2, including Kara, would set charges around the base and wait. Until the end, one by one, they disappeared into smoke and flame. Back to present, the victory. The alien commander, Traval, walked through the ruins. He found nothing of value, no command center, no data, no survivors. His officer said, "Maybe the humans wiped their own systems before dying." Traval frowned. It didn't feel right. These humans fought too well, too smart. They must have been protecting something. But what? Cut to a hidden cave. Miles away, 2 figures crawled through the darkness. One limped. The other carried the black cube. Their faces were burned, their armor cracked, but they were alive. A quiet voice came through the comms. "This is Echo 2. Payload secure. Extraction requested." No response, only static. But then, a single tone beeped. Message received. Help was coming. Final scene. Hook. In a distant human command ship, a message blinked red. A young officer read it, eyes wide. "Sir." Echo Team survived. "The payload is safe." The commander turned slowly. "Good," he said. Then we moved to Phase 2. Black screen. Words fade in. They thought the scout team was finished. They were wrong. Narrations start, with suspense and simple English. The galaxy believed Echo Team was gone, that the battle was over, that Earth would stay silent. But deep in the shadows of space, humanity had already started moving. Scene. Aboard human command ship Resolute, Commander Elias Rain stood at the bridge window watching stars drift past. He had seen war before, but this was different. He turned to his officers. Echo Team completed their mission. The data cube is safe. We move to Phase 2. A young officer blinked. "Sir, they were just scouts." "What's Phase 2? Rain's eyes were cold. "Phase 2 is why we sent scouts first. To test the enemy. To find their weakness. Now, we hit back." Cut to. The alien empire celebrates. On the planet Zarnath, the capital of the Tharn Empire, leaders held a victory parade. Alien banners flew high. News networks praised Commander Traval. "He crushed the humans in a single strike," one reporter said. But Traval knew the truth. He hadn't crushed anything. That fight still haunted him. He remembered the traps, the ambushes, the message chip, Scout Team Echo. Traval went to the War Council. We need to prepare. This wasn't their full force. Humanity will strike back. But the Council laughed. Humans? Weak. Few in number. Their outpost is ash. Traval walked away with a cold chill in his bones. Back to Echo Team. Recovery and orders in a secret medical station on an asteroid. Echo Team lay in healing pods. Kara Hale woke first, eyes scanning the room. A voice spoke. You completed the mission. Now, we have a new one for you. Kara stepped out of the pod. Her body hurt, but her voice was steady. What's the target? The screen lit up. Zarneth, the alien capital. New orders. Strike before the parade. EN's Phase 2 wasn't a full war. It was surgical fear. The plan was to show the Tharn Empire that no place was safe, not even their capital. Echo Team would lead. A stealth strike with a new squad, faster, stronger, armed with Earth's best tech. Their goal: infiltrate Zarneth, mark critical sites, and vanish before sunrise. No one would die, but the Tharn would know. Humans were watching, and they could reach anywhere. Building suspense. Alien surveillance spots. Something strange. On Zarneth, an old orbital telescope picked up a flicker, a ghost shadow moving through space, too small for a ship, too fast for debris. Traval's assistant noticed. Should we report this? Traval leaned forward. His heart dropped. Send everything we have. They're here. Hook ending. The alien capital sleeps under bright lights and loud music. But in a quiet alley, a black-armored human crouches, placing a strange metal disc on a statue. The disc blinks once, then vanishes from sight. Echo Team is back. Phase 2 has begun. Narration start. Simple English, heavy suspense. The alien capital, Zarneth, was still glowing from celebration. Crowds danced in the streets. Fireworks lit the skies. The Tharn Empire believed the humans were defeated. Their leaders smiled. Their generals relaxed. But in the shadows, Earth's scout team had returned, and this time, they brought a message of fear. Scene. Inside the capital. Midnight Echo Team moved like shadows through the city. No one saw them arrive. No alarms rang. No cameras caught them. Sergeant Kara Hale led the way, dressed in black armor that bent light. Her team split up, planting tiny devices on buildings, statues, government halls. Each device was silent. Each one was a warning. Not a bomb, but something far more dangerous. Proof that humans could reach their heart. Flashback. Mission briefing. Before arrival, Commander Rain stood before the team. You are not to kill. You are not to destroy. You are to let them know we were here. That we came and left without resistance. Kara nodded. Psychological strike. Exactly, Rain said. The kind they'll never forget. Scene. Alien Intelligence Building. Sudden alert. Inside Zarneth's Defense Center, a young alien officer scanned routine city scans. Then his screen glitched. New images appeared. Dozens of symbols glowing across the map. Unreadable. Human. He froze. Commander, we've been breached. Traval rushed to the console. He zoomed in on the map. Every marked building was critical. The War Council Hall, energy grid towers, elite military barracks. They'd all been tagged, without anyone noticing. Widespread. Panic begins. Sirens screamed through the city. The celebrations stopped. Soldiers flooded the streets, but found nothing. Only the blinking marks. No damage. No enemy. No trail. The civilians didn't understand what was happening. The leaders did. Someone had walked right through their defenses. Quietly, perfectly. Seen. Echo Team. Exfiltration, far above Zarneth. A small, cloaked ship waited. One by one. Echo Team. Members returned, silent and unharmed. Kara was the last aboard. She looked back once at the glowing capital. Then she spoke softly into her comms. Target marked. Mission complete. They vanished into the stars. Before the Tharn even knew they were gone. Scene. Human High Command. Commander Rain stood before a star map. Reports were coming in. Zarneth was in chaos. Alien fleets were being recalled. Border patrols pulled back. Fear was spreading. A junior officer asked, "Sir, why didn't we strike harder?" Rain smiled. "Because now they'll stay awake every night, wondering when we will hook ending." Traval stared at the blinking devices. He whispered, "They were here, in our home." And deep inside, he felt it. The fear of a coming storm. A storm called humanity. Narration start. Build suspense with simple English. The Tharn Empire was angry, humiliated. Their capital had been touched by humans, and no one had stopped them. No shots were fired. No alarms were triggered. It was a quiet invasion. Now the aliens wanted revenge, but they had no idea. They were still playing the wrong game. Scene. Tharn War Council. Meeting chairs slammed. Voices shouted. Fear was everywhere. We were invaded without warning. They tagged our key structures. They could have killed us all, and they didn't. One voice cut through the noise. It was Traval. They showed us mercy. He said, "Next time they won't." A general growled, "Then we strike Earth before they do." The council agreed. Scene. Alien war fleet assembles. A massive Tharn fleet formed above the red moon of Jaxor, over 200 ships, loaded with troops, heavy weapons, and planet-breaker torpedoes. Their mission? Find Earth. Hit it before it hits again. But there was a problem. They didn't know where Earth was. Flashback. Why Earth vanished. Long ago, when first contact went bad, Earth shut down all beacons, all signals. They erased their location from star charts. They made sure no one could find them unless Earth allowed. And so the Tharn guessed. They attacked human colonies listening for patterns. They hit old supply routes, broken trade stations. Each time, they found nothing. Worse, each time, they were watched. Seen. Ghosts in the dark Tharn ships began disappearing, one at a time. No battles, no distress calls. A ship would enter a system, then never report back. Inside. The War Council. Panic returned. Traval studied the reports. They're hunting us now. Every time we move, they're ahead of us. But the generals refused to stop. They sent a massive fleet to Sector 7K, where a human signal had flickered once, long ago. Scene. The ambush as the fleet entered Sector 7K. Everything seemed quiet. Too quiet. Then, dozens of human stealth ships. Uncloaked, fast, silent, coordinated, not scouts, predators. The Tharn fleet tried to fight back. But their weapons were too slow, their ships too large. Human fighters danced between them, striking key engines, disabling life support. In 12 minutes, it was over. Only one Tharn ship escaped, shaking, damaged. Half its crew dead. They carried only one message: stop looking for Earth. Scene. Commander Rain. Watches the aftermath on the screen. Small explosions marked the fall of Tharn ships. Rain stood with hands behind his back. "We warned them," he said. An officer asked, "What now?" Rain answered calmly, "Now we wait. Let fear do the rest, hook ending." Back on Zarneth, Traval sat alone, reading the latest report. "Scout team. Again?" he whispered. "Still just scouts?" He looked up, eyes full of fear. If that's still not their army, then what will happen when it arrives? The Tharn Empire thought they were ready for anything. They built more warships. They scanned every corner of space. They prepared for Earth's army to arrive. But they didn't know one thing. Earth was not alone. Seen. Human command. Deep Space Station. Aegis Commander Rain looked over the star charts. Status on the Tharn Empire? He asked, pulling back fleets, spreading fear across their colonies, said his officer. Rain nodded. Good. Now it's time. He pressed a button. A signal was sent. Not across one system, but across many galaxies. Cut to planets across. The stars begin moving. On a volcanic planet, massive reptilian warriors opened a vault. Inside, ancient human-made weapons. On a jungle moon, insect-like creatures chittered and clicked. Earth calls again, their queen said. In a dark, asteroid field, cloaked ships turned toward a new heading. Their symbol, a burning star, Earth's mark. They were Earth's allies, old friends, forgotten warriors. Most of the galaxy never knew Earth had helped them long ago, during the Great Silence. Now they returned the favor. Seen, Tharn Empire. Panic Grow's alien scouts reported new sightings. Ships that didn't match Earth's style. Strange weapons. Unknown tactics. One general shouted, "Who are these new enemies?" Traval whispered, "They're not enemies. They're Earth's allies." Flashback. Humanity's secret diplomacy. While Earth hid in the shadows, its people didn't sit still. They didn't build just ships. They built relationships. Earth helped small worlds fight off pirates. They gave medicine, technology, training, not to rule, but to earn trust, and many species remembered. Now they were rising. Not because Earth ordered them, but because they chose to. Seen. Alliance Fleet. Assembles ships of many kinds gathered, human, insectoid, reptilian, crystalline, synthetic, thousands of vessels, a united armada. Commander Rain stood on the bridge of Earth's flagship. "This is not just about Earth anymore," he said. "This is about the galaxy, choosing to be free." Seen. The Tharn border world falls. Without a fight, as the Alliance fleet entered Tharn space, their first target was a fortress planet. But the soldiers there surrendered without resistance. Why? Because above them hovered not one flag, but many, and in the center was Earth's emblem. The message was clear. Humanity leads, but they are not alone. Hook ending. Traval received the last report. He sat in silence, watching the symbols of many alien worlds flying beside Earth's fleet. He whispered to himself, "We were never fighting just humans." He stood slowly. We were fighting an idea. The Tharn Empire was broken, their ships were scattered, their colonies shaken. They had fought Earth's scouts, they had fought Earth's allies, but they had not yet fought Earth's real army. Now, that was about to change, and the galaxy watched, holding its breath. Seen. Deep space. A storm in the dark at the edge of the Tharn home system. Space began to twist. Lights flickered. Gravity shifted. Then, one by one, they arrived. Massive black warships, silent, cold, deadly. Each ship was marked with the ancient emblem of Earth, a burning sword through a broken chain. Seen, human flagship, Oblivion. Commander Rain stood at the front window. Below him, the Tharn's final stronghold. He didn't smile. He didn't speak with hate, just calm certainty. "Transmit the message," he said. A voice carried across every Tharn channel. "This is Earth's first fleet. You fought our scouts. You feared our allies. Now you face our truth. Stand down or vanish." Seen. Inside the Tharn War Council panic, shouting. Weapons were useless. Shields were offline. Traval stared at the sensor scans. The ships were moving without engines. How? Gravitic control. Quantum displacement. Weapons never seen before. Humans had gone far beyond what the galaxy thought possible. And now, they stood at the Tharn's gates. Flashback. Earth's 200 years of silence, while the galaxy laughed at Earth's exile. While they mocked humans for being primitive, Earth had evolved, built warships in dark space, trained soldiers in gravity, storms, created AI-commanded fleets. Earth didn't disappear. Earth prepared. Seen. Final message from Earth. As the fleet surrounded the last Tharn planet, Rain sent one final message, not to threaten, not to beg, but to end it. We asked for peace. You answered with war. Now we give you one final choice. Join us, or be erased. Seen. Silence across the galaxy, from distant colonies to neutral worlds, everyone watched. Billions saw the human fleet. Some wept, some cheered, some whispered the new truth. They were never weak. They were waiting. Seen. Traval's decision. Traval stood before his people. The Tharn were proud. But pride had brought ruin. He stared at the fleet outside, and slowly dropped his weapon. "We surrender," he said. "We join." Hook ending, Commander. Rain looked down at the now silent Tharn capital. He nodded once, not in triumph, but in warning.